Namaste. Welcome to Distance Education Learning Program organized by PAPSON, collaboration with Janta Television. In previous class, we were discussing about the gravitational force of grade 10. So in this grade 10 science, today we will continue the class about the gravitation. And previously, we have discussed about the mass and weight also. So today's class will start with the numerical problem related to the weight. Okay, so you can see on the screen one numerical problem we have. So let's check this numerical problem, and then we will go to the free fill and the weightlessness. So let's see the numerical problem. Okay. The question is like this: if the weight of an object is 400 Newton in Earth, then find the weight of same object in the moon. So let's see how to solve this numerical problem. So here, the weight is given. The weight of an object in Earth. Okay, so this one we will suppose this W is given there 400 Newton, 400 Newton, right? We need to find the weight of object, weight of an object in moon. So we will suppose this W dash equals to what? And we need to know the acceleration due to gravity of Earth as well as the acceleration due to gravity of the moon, because it is related with the weight. So let's write down acceleration due to gravity. This is of Earth. So this one I will write down this GE is 9.8 meter per second square. And acceleration due to gravity of moon. So if I suppose this ZM, then it is 1.67 meter per second square, right? So let's find this, how to find this one, weight of an object in the moon. So we have this weight equals to mass into acceleration due to gravity of the Earth, because this is the weight at the Earth. So we need to calculate by using this formula. So weight is given over there. Weight is 400 Newton equals to mass we need to calculate. So M, and G is there 9.8. So let's simplify this, or M equals to 400 divided by 9.8. So let's calculate this. 400 divided by 9.8, and the answer is, or M equals to 40.81. Now this is mass, so the unit is kg. Now the mass is constant everywhere, that we have discussed previously also, as it is depend upon the number of molecule present on it. So the mass is constant everywhere. That's why this object, whenever we took in the moon, the mass remains same. So let's see how to find the weight in the moon. Now weight in the moon, W dash equals to, again, M into Z of moon, acceleration due to gravity at the moon. So this we need to calculate. W dash equals to, mass is we have already found here 40.81, and this G is 1.67. So let's calculate this one. So 40.81 multiply 1.67 equals to, so it gives, therefore weight on the moon of that object is 68.16. Now the unit of weight, it is a Newton. So the object which is 400 Newton weight in the Earth surface, the weight of that object will be 68.16 Newton in the case of moon. So these are the numerical problem related with the weight. And this is continuing class of the previous one. So like this process, we can solve the numerical problem. So next one, let's see the free fall and the weightlessness. So let's see what is free fall and the weightlessness. So firstly, let's talk about the free fall. Free fall. Okay. So I have one object here, right? And whenever the object is fall freely, then right now there is a two forces act on it. One is the gravity, and another is the air resistance. Air resistance act on the opposite directions of the gravity. And if we omit the air resistance, then the falling of the object is freely only due to the gravity. Only the actions of the gravity only. The falling of object will be freely. So the falling of object freely due to the gravity of the planet is known as the free fall. So there should not be any air resistance during the free fall. That means in the absence of air resistance, the free fall takes place. So we can define the free fall as the falling of the object freely in absence of any external resistance or any external forces. That is known as the free fall. And generally, during the free fall, the accelerations of the object or accelerations of the freely falling object is equal to the accelerations of the acceleration due to gravity. That means acceleration due to gravity and the accelerations of the freely falling object is equal in the case of this free fall. And generally, during this free fall, the weight of an object is 0. Okay, that is weight of an object during the free fall is the 0. Now, whenever we let to fall the object in the surface of Earth, there is air resistance is present. That's why that is not a true free fall because of presence of the air resistance. Air resistance is present. That's why in the Earth, generally, the free fall is not possible. It seems that the free fall, but exact or true free fall is not possible. But if we let to fall this object in the case of moon, then in that condition, due to the lack of air resistance, the free fall takes place. That's why the falling of object in the moon, that is the true free fall, and the falling of object in the Earth, though the acceleration is nearby equal to the acceleration due to gravity of the Earth, it is not a true free fall. But whenever we let to fall the object from the less distance, then that can be considered as a free fall because the air resistance will be negligible in that condition. So this is about the free fall, right? And the equations of the motion or modified form of equations of motion can be used for the calculating the velocity or calculating the height in the case of a freely falling object that we have discussed in the grade 9 also, that we have read on the grade 9 also. That equation is modified one for the freely falling object. So you might have learned in grade 9 the equation of motion like v equals to u plus at. These equations you have learned. This is the equations of motion in the linear form, and this is the freely falling object vertically. That's why this equation is modified to v equals to u plus z t. This acceleration, and this one is the acceleration due to gravity, right? So this one is the equation. Next one is s equals to ut plus half at square. This is equations of motion in the linear form, right? And this equation is modified into this is distance in the linear form, and that will be height, right? Whenever the object is falling from certain height, then that will be height. So this will be h equals to ut plus half zt square. And last one is v square equals to u square plus 2as, and this is modified into v square equals to u square plus 2gh. So this equation can be used for finding the equations which is related with the freely falling object. And you need to know some points while calculating about this freely falling object. The first one is whenever the object is falling freely from certain height. So when the object is falling from certain height, then the initial velocity is 0. Okay, when the object is falling from certain height, so in this state the object is at the rest. That's why the initial velocity is 0. And when we throw the object vertically upward, then at the certain height the object will be at the rest. That's why final velocity will be 0. If we throw the object vertically upward, then the final velocity will be 0. Right? Similarly, if the object is falling from certain height, then acceleration due to gravity is positive. The value of small g will be positive during the calculation one, because the object is also falling towards the center of the gravity, which is the directions of a gravity one. That's why it is a positive one. And if we throw the object vertically upward, then the acceleration due to gravity value is negative one. We take the negative value in that condition. Okay, so this point you need to know while solving this the equation. Okay, so let's try one numerical problem related to this one. So question you can see in screen. So question is like this: to estimate the height of the bridge over the Mahakali River, a stone is dropped freely in the river from the bridge, and the stone takes 2 seconds to touch the water surface in the river. Then calculate the height of the bridge from the water level. The value of small g is 9.8 meter per second square is given. So let's solve how this numerical problem. So solution here. So what is given over there is the stone is thrown from the bridge. That means initially the stone is at the rest. So in this condition, we can write down the initial velocity is initial velocity. So symbol is u equals to 0 meter per second. Why? Because the stone is initially at the rest. Okay, and similarly the time taken is given over there. Time taken. So time taken is t, and the time is given over there 2 seconds. So time is 2 seconds, right? And acceleration due to gravity, acceleration due to gravity, symbol is small g, and the value is 9.8 meter per second square, right? We need to find the height of bridge from surface of water. So this one I will represent by h equals to what? So previous one, whatever we have discussed previously, the equation, we will use one of that. Okay, so here is height is there. So the formula we use is we have h equals to ut plus half gt square. As we need to calculate the height, the formula we use is this one, h equals to ut plus half gt square, right? Okay, so u is 0 meter per second is there. So let's put this value here, or h equals to u is 0 into time, t is 2 seconds is there, plus this 1/2 into g is 9.8 into t square is 2 into 2. So let's simplify this. Let's cancel this one. This 0 into 2 is 0. So h equals to 9.8 into 2. So this one is 9.8 into 2. It gives the 19.6 meter. Sorry, 19 point. It gives the 19.6 meter is the answer. So this height of the Mahakali River is 19.6 meter. So in this way, we can solve the numerical problem related to the free fall. Clear? Okay, now let's discuss about the falling of parachute. Parachute, it is the device which are used for the safely landing when we jump from the significant height. For example, if we need to jump from certain height, let's say from aeroplane, then we can use this parachute for the safely landing on the ground. Right now, how the safely landing is possible by using this parachute? Let's see. Okay. So whenever the object is falling, then the air resistance is acting opposite of the gravity, isn't it? The gravity pulls the object towards its center, and the air resistance is pulling the object in the upward direction. And the air resistance, it is influenced, the acceleration of the object is influenced by the air resistance. If there is a more cross-sectional area, then more air resistance act on it, which decrease the acceleration one. That's why the more cross-sectional area influence the accelerations of the freely falling object. So in the case of parachute, so let's say this one is the parachute. It is designed with the more cross-sectional area, so that the more air resistance act on it, and the falling of object or velocity remains constant. For that, the more cross-sectional area is made in the parachute. Suppose this one is the parachute, right? So this one is the parachute. Then when the object is falling in the downward direction, then the weight act on it, or gravity act on it, which pull the object towards its center. That is the gravity, right? In the same time, the air is present in the atmosphere. That's why the air resistance act on this parachute, right? And due to this air resistance on the parachute, the velocity remains constant. And when the velocity is constant, in that condition, the acceleration remains 0. So the safe landing is possible by using this parachute, right? So what I have said is the weight act on the downward direction, but the air resistance act on the upward direction. And due to the more cross-sectional area of this parachute, more air resistance act on it, which makes the velocity constant. And due to this constant velocity, the safe landing is possible by using this parachute, right? Okay. So this is about the parachute. And if we use this parachute in the case of moon, then is there possible of safe landing? Definitely not. Why? Because there is no air resistance in the moon. Air atmosphere is absent in the case of moon. That's why the safe landing is not possible in the case of a moon. We can safely land by using the parachute in the case of Earth, but in the case of moon, there is no safe landing is possible. When the object is fall on the moon, if we use the parachute also, the acceleration will be equal to the acceleration due to gravity of a moon. Okay, so this is about the free fall. So let's move on to the weightlessness. So what is weightlessness? So weight, we measure the weight with the help of this spring balance, right? This one is the spring balance, which are used for measuring the weight. Now, here I have brought one object, right? And I have the spring balance. So whenever I check this one, then it shows about 3 Newton, right? About 3 Newton weight is shown of this object. Now, right now I'm holding this one object. That's why the weight is shown about 3 Newton. Whenever I just hold this spring balance, and the weight is held by this spring balance. In that condition, the 3 Newton weight is there, right? But if I leave this both object, right, without holding this, if I leave this both object, then if we try to read, then in that condition, it shows the 0 Newton weight. So let me explain this again. So right now I'm holding this spring balance, and the weight is held by the spring balance. In that condition, the 3 Newton weight is shown, right? 3 Newton weight is shown. But if I release this both, if I release like this both, then if we try to read that in that condition, then the weight is 0. So the condition of body when the weight seems to be 0 is called the weightlessness. Clear? The conditions of the body, when the weight seems to be 0 is called the weightlessness. That means weight is 0. That condition is called the weightlessness. And generally, the weightlessness, the different condition may be there. For example, during the free fall also, the weight will be 0, right? Similarly, if we travel in the space where the gravity is 0, in that place also, the weightlessness takes place over there, right? Similarly, if we are at the center of Earth, also, the gravity is 0. Right? Acceleration due to gravity is 0. That's why in that place also the weightlessness takes place. And similarly, whenever the astronauts, they are revolving around the planet in satellite, in that condition also weightlessness takes place. So the condition for the weightlessness is during the free fall, right? During the free fall, the acceleration will be equal to the acceleration due to gravity. In that condition also, the weightlessness takes place. Similarly, at the null point, that means at the space where the influence of gravity is 0, or where the acceleration due to gravity is 0, in that place also, the weightlessness takes place. And similarly, at the center of Earth, the acceleration due to gravity is 0 over there. We have proved previously also, right? And similarly, on the satellite, while orbiting on the planet also, the weight of the object will be the 0. So these are the condition for the weightlessness. Now let's see what is the difference between the free fall and the weightlessness. So I have said the falling of object freely due to the force of planet, right? Without the influencing of any external forces, that is called the free fall. And the weightlessness is the conditions of the body when the weight seems to be 0. That is the weightlessness. And generally the free fall, it causes the weightlessness. Due to the free fall, the weightlessness takes place in the body, and the weightlessness is the effect of the free fall. That is the differences between this free fall and the weightlessness. Okay. Now, we might have traveled in the elevator. That is also called the lift also. Whenever we are in the shopping mall, right? In that places, there may be the elevator or the lift, and we may travel on that places, isn't it? Right? So during the traveling one, whenever the lift is down, right? When the lift move from up to down, then a little bit we get scared over there, isn't it? It seems we will feel fear on that condition whenever the lift move from up to down, because some weight get lost over there. So, but if that elevator get collapse, right? Let's say the elevator get fall with the accelerations of the acceleration due to gravity. In that condition, the people feel the weightlessness. So you can see in the picture also on the screen, right? Whenever the elevator get detached, or if it fall freely, in that condition, weightlessness takes place. And why weightlessness takes place is, this is, let's say, elevator. This is the elevator one, and this is the person, let's say, right? When this both fall simultaneously with the acceleration equals to acceleration due to gravity, then there is no any holding force is present on this elevator, on the bottom of the elevator one. So right now, when it is in stationary, then the weight is acting on the downward, and the same amount of force is acting in the upward, right? This lift, the base of the lift, it is moving in the upward, and this person, its weight is acting on the downward direction. Clear? So in that condition, the weight acts or work, but whenever this both object move in the downward direction, then when it move in the downward direction, there is no any force is present, right? There is no reaction force is present, and due to the lack of reaction force of this elevator one, the persons feel weightlessness when the elevator move freely. That is the condition one. Yeah. So due to the lack of the reaction force on the elevator one, the the weightlessness is felt by the person in the elevator one. That is the weightlessness. So these are the things we discuss in grade 10. So let's discuss some more questions about this give reason that we have discussed previously also. So let's discuss some more give reason. Okay, so the first one give reason is the mass of Jupiter is 319 times more than the mass of the Earth, but its acceleration is only 2.5 times more than the acceleration due to gravity of the Earth. Why? The question is, mass is 319 times more, but the acceleration is only 2.5 times greater than the acceleration due to gravity of the Earth. Why? That is the question. Now, the acceleration due to gravity is directly proportional to the mass. That is okay. But it is also inversely proportional with the square of distance also. That means directly proportional with the mass, but inversely proportional with the square of the distance or the radius. Okay, that means though the mass is 319 times greater, this mass is 319 times greater, its radius is also 11 times greater than the radius of the Earth. And I have already said acceleration due to gravity is inversely proportional to the square of radius. That means due to this more radius of the Jupiter one, the acceleration due to gravity is only 2.5 times greater than the acceleration due to gravity of a Earth. Clear? So though the mass is 319 times greater, the radius also greater 11 times. That is the case of the Jupiter one. That's why acceleration due to gravity is only 2.5 times greater than the acceleration due to gravity of the Earth. So in that way, you can write down the answer, right? Next one is there. Whenever we lift up the two objects of different masses, then it will be difficult to lift up the larger stone than the smaller stone. What is the reason? So this weight is m into z. Formula of weight is mass into acceleration due to gravity. And if we lift up the stone in the same places, then z is constant, right? For example, if in this place we are lifting the large stone and the small stone, then the place is same. And if the place is same, then acceleration due to gravity is constant. Now, if this acceleration due to gravity is constant, then can you write down this weight is proportional with the mass? Whenever this acceleration due to gravity is constant, then the weight will depend upon the mass. That means if we check the large stone and the small stone, definitely the large stone, it has the more mass. Due to the presence of more mass, more weight will be there. That's why we feel difficult to lift up the large mass than the small mass. That is the next one, give reason. Clear this one? Okay. So these are the some give reasons. So whenever you answer the give reason, then try to answer with the help of the reason, specific reason. Okay, some mathematical condition if you insert over there, then that will be good while writing the answer. Okay, so let's see this one numerical problem related to this gravitation one. So the question is like this: an apple with the mass of 200 gram falls from a tree, and what is the accelerations of the apple towards the earth, and what is the accelerations of the earth towards the apple? So what this question is, earth is there and one apple is there on the tree, and that is falling towards the earth, right? Then we need to calculate the accelerations of this apple towards the earth and the accelerations of the earth towards the apple also. Okay, we need to calculate this one. So shortly I will solve this one. Okay, so mass of earth here, mass of earth is given, so capital M, I will write down this 6 into 10 to the power 24 kg, and the mass of apple is there, that is 200 gram. So you convert this into kg, that is 200 divided by 1000, it is kg, right? And radius of Earth is given 6.4 into 10 to the power 6 meter. And we need to find the accelerations of, let's say, Earth towards the apple, and the accelerations of apple towards the Earth, let's say. Okay, so how to calculate this one is, for calculating this acceleration, let's calculate the gravitational force first. That is, so we can use the formula F equals to G capital M small m by r square. Find this one, then you will get the force, right? And use this force for calculating the acceleration due to gravity of apple towards the Earth, and the acceleration due to gravity of Earth towards the apple. Okay, that means this force equals to m into accelerations of apple. So in this case, we write down the mass of the apple, and in the next case, the force will be same, but in that case, we'll write down the capital M into accelerations of Earth. So use this formula and try to find the accelerations of apple towards the Earth and the accelerations of the Earth towards the apple. So this I'm leaving you as a task to complete yourself, right? In the next classes, we will continue the more about the gradient science. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining this class. Thank you very much.